Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate.
When you got nothing real to say, you just ramble. And that's exactly what happens on The View. The hosts are totally out of touch with real Americans. Whoopi Goldberg spent years controlling the table, shutting down anyone who disagreed, and acting like her opinions were unquestionable. But one shocking moment shattered that control, all thanks to Karoline Leavitt. The episode started like any other. Smug laughs, eye rolls, and a panel fully locked into the same left-leaning script.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whoopi, confident as always, leaned back ready to control yet another conversation. Until the topic of wokeness came up, a word The View treats like sacred ground. Feeling untouchable, Whoopi took the first jab, smirking as she pointed at Karoline and declared, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." And just like that, bam, the entire room shifted. The audience stiffened, and even Joy Behar, who built her career mocking conservatives, suddenly looked uneasy in her chair.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
What Whoopi said next was exactly what you'd expect. Predictable and irritating. After all these years as a host, you'd think she'd come up with something more original. But nope. Same tired lines, same tired attitude. So here we go again. Let's see what she tried to throw out this time.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
The room filled with tension, and Whoopi had no idea what was coming. Her jab wasn't playful. It attacked Karoline's career, intelligence, and everything she'd worked for. The audience clapped on autopilot. But even they sensed Whoopi had crossed a line. Karoline didn't flinch. Instead, she gave a calm, confident smile that said, "You just messed up." Then she flipped the entire moment with hard facts, exposing how taxpayer money was being funneled into bizarre woke programs and how wokeness had become a political weapon to silence opposition. Suddenly, Whoopi wasn't laughing anymore.
And disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
She's incredibly articulate, isn't she? It's baffling that the host of The View chose to mock her instead of supporting another woman. It really exposes their agenda. Let's see how this unfolds. Because it's clear Karoline is about to drop even more truth they won't be able to ignore.
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS.
The woman known for dominating conversations was suddenly on the defensive. Whoopi shifted uncomfortably, her usual smirk gone as she struggled to find a comeback. But Karoline didn't give her the chance. The audience sat in tense silence, unsure how to react, and even the cameras hesitated. Karoline had exposed a painful truth. If wokeness is about inclusion, why are conservative women always attacked? Whoopi had no answer. Joy Behar tried a nervous joke to break the tension, but was too late. Whoopi had unraveled on live television.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Right.
That's what you hear.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say.
It's hard to watch, isn't it? Her arguments come off childish and dismissive, especially when she's confronted with facts she can't refute. It makes you wonder how someone like her still holds such a powerful platform. Despite lacking real substance, she remains a fixture of daytime TV. Maybe simply because she's been there so long. But by now, you'd expect someone more thoughtful to take her place. Honestly, it's baffling.
They talk at you, not to you, and that's what she was doing, and she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail.
The internet went absolutely wild. Memes, reaction clips, and non-stop commentary as Whoopi's stunned reaction replayed on loop. But this wasn't new. Over the years, Whoopi had turned The View into a controversy machine, from tone-deaf Holocaust comments to bizarre defenses of questionable figures. Now, ABC faced a wave of defamation lawsuits. Carrie Underwood, Elon Musk, and Karoline Leavitt, each highlighting the cost of Whoopi's unchecked commentary. Unlike before, this time she had no one to blame. Take Carrie Underwood. After her performance at Trump's second swearing-in, Whoopi and co-hosts mocked her mercilessly, even questioning her character. Instead of staying silent, Carrie filed a $1 billion defamation lawsuit, exposing explosive truths that even Whoopi wasn't ready for.
Live on this program yesterday, Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Karoline.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit, and thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
It's refreshing to see someone break free from a View's scripted chatter. Watching Karoline confidently stand her ground with facts feels like a win, especially as the usual hosts start to unravel. It's satisfying to hear a perspective that isn't tied to the typical agenda.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt she went to St. Anselm College, she worked for WMUR
Ran
TV.
for Congress?
In New Hampshire, she ran for Congress at the age of 25, put out a very good campaign.
Karoline's stats are impressive, and it's great to see her getting recognition. On the other hand, Whoopi's accomplishments are harder to define these days. While she started strong in acting, her recent work seems more about stirring controversy than meaningful dialogue. Her role on The View feels more about tenure than real value, and it's hard to point to anything substantial she's done lately.
She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives and this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job.
Leaked emails revealed ABC had orchestrated the attack on Carrie Underwood to boost ratings. A calculated smear, not an accident. When the truth came out, the network scrambled, settling for a massive undisclosed sum. Just as they thought the storm had passed, Elon Musk sued over false claims made on the show, plunging The View back into crisis. Loyal advertisers began pulling out, and the show's reputation as a ratings powerhouse started to crumble. With multiple lawsuits and sponsors fleeing, the unstoppable force led by Whoopi Goldberg was finally showing cracks, and ABC couldn't stop the spiral.
Yeah. I would like to young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation.
She's talking in circles, but Karoline is the one standing firm. She's the hero here, pushing back against it all with clarity and strength.
The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian, this is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our...
Whoopi Goldberg's time on The View came to an unexpected end. After years of dominating the show and silencing opposing voices, her showdown with Karoline Leavitt exposed her weaknesses on live TV. ABC tried to spin it as a break, but it was clear she'd been let go, with advertisers pulling support and fans questioning the show's future. The View now faces a crossroads. Maintain the status quo or finally change direction. Is this the beginning of the end for the show? Let us know in the comments.